Uncle Job Snap, who two up on Black Power, family. What up? It's your brother in Guvo. Now you see R.A.M. And once again, you're tuned into R.A.M. RBG TV. And you know we keep it G. Raw and cut common sense for the common people, dealing with the common issues, and you know we trying to seek those common solutions. So here we go and here we go. So all in together now, family, say nice, loud, and proud. What's the method, the motto, the mantra, motivation, and the madness? You should know this. Say it along. Here we go. You know that the answer is black love, because black love is a cure for the black nation. Family, so let's get it. Alright. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to discuss today. I have not come up with a title just yet. So when it goes up, when I load it up on the channel, family, you know what it is, and that's what it is. And we're going to rock it in that light. But it is three things I want to discuss within this episode. I want to discuss briefly some words that His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey spoke to us a long time ago, which is ever so relevant in today that we're dealing with the realm of fear. I'm going to say that again. Fear. F-E-A-R. Fear. Then we're going to talk about switching that fear over into self-reliance, because you already know that's necessary. Black folks can't do nothing without self-reliance, because if you depend on somebody else to do something, just like Mr. Garvey said, any person or people that depends upon another race basically is, set themselves up for failure, set themselves up to be slaves, etc., etc., etc. You know the quote, go look it up for yourself. I just paraphrase it. And then lastly, we're going to talk about that recent women's rally / march that just took place in D.C. at the Capitol not too long ago, within the last 2 weeks. We're going to briefly touch on those topics, and that's what it is. But before we go into that, I want you to hear some words from Barbara Garvey himself. Listen.
Wheresoever you go throughout the world, the black man is discarded, is ostracized, is relegated to the lowest in things, social, political, and economical. This therefore suggests a problem, and one that must be solved. We in this section of the world are not entirely free from this unkind, unsympathetic, and uncharitable behavior of the groups or races around us. But since man has been placed on his own responsibility, whether he be black, white, or yellow, he must act on his own account. We will not unduly whine or complain, but reason among ourselves and see what can be done to remedy this state of affairs. Life is a conflict. You have to fight your way through it, whether you will it or not. Those of us who are able to fight most stubbornly live, accomplish most, and to them go the laurels, the palms, and triumph of our civilization and world. We unfortunately have not been trained nor educated in the truths of life, paradoxically so. May I say something to you to give you a true knowledge of yourself and life, so that the same glory and success attained by other men who understand themselves may be yours. Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man in lacking the knowledge that man is used to beautify the world and produce all that he needs for his happiness and civilization. Look the world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical, and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has made progress in man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life so that you will be abundantly blessed. So reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without a written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk through the world making you their serfs and slaves. We must acquire the higher knowledge of life. Black men and black women, will you get the knowledge that the white man has that causes him to be leaders and masters in the world? They are not gods with a peculiar source for understanding the world around them. They have only given expression to the knowledge of their humanity and been able to use and conquer all to their satisfaction and glory. And that is why they are always greater than you in every community that you find them. Isn't it strange that wheresoever the white man is found, he takes precedence over you? Why is that so? Answer that for yourselves, black men and black women. Wheresoever you come in contact with the white man, you always have to go down in defeat before him. Whether it be in England, in France, or in America, you always have to go down to the white man, and yet he has 2 eyes, 2 feet, 2 hands, same passions, same senses and feelings as you have. Your feet are not put on opposite sides, now your hands turned around the other way. But it's because you fail to use your will, your knowledge, and your mental faculty to the point where you will enjoy life around you.
Once again, family, you still rocking with us on R&M RBG TV. This is your brother Nguvo. Now you see R&M. Like I said, we talking on the 3 subtopics, if you will, of fear in this Trump era, self-reliance amongst the black family at large, as well as dealing with this whole women's march and women's rally that took place in DC 2 weeks ago, or last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever, right? Before we go any further in the discussion on the whole Trump era and all that good stuff, let's see what Baba Garvey had to say about fear in general. Fear is a state of nervousness fit for children and not men. When man fears another creature like himself, he offends God, in whose image and likeness he is created. Man being created equal fears none but God. To fear is to lose control of one's nerves and one's will to flutter like a dying fowl, losing consciousness but yet still alive. He takes it a step further, because when you're dealing with fear, that's one side of the spectrum, if you will. That's one extremity. The other side of that spectrum, or the opposite side, or the opposite extremity, rather, will be ambition. Where you want to aim yourself, where you want to see yourself going, the example that you want to live for yourself and others around you. Ambition. Ambition is the desire to go forward and improve one's condition. It is a burning flame that lights up the life of the individual and makes him see himself in another state. To be ambitious is to be great in mind and soul. To want to go on without looking back, reaching to that which gives satisfaction. To be humanly ambitious is to take in the world, which is the province of man. To be divinely ambitious is to offend God by rivaling him in his infinite majesty. Fear, ambition, 2 sides of one living spectrum, if you will. Are you going to live yourself in fear? You're going to be a child all your life, basically at the mercy and beck and call of everybody else? Or you're going to put yourself in a realm, in a state of mind, whatever, where you can see yourself living something that's worth a damn for yourself as well as everybody else, right? Now let's take it to this whole Trump era thing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Black people, my people, first and foremost, you already know that I do love you. So if you don't take what I'm about to say negatively. By the end of the day, you cannot romance it. You can't run from it. It is what it is. This is the reality and the order of the day that we are living in currently. 2017, right? So we know we got a new president, new sitter on the legislative throne, if you will, like I like to call it. And basically, long story short, black folks is running scared shitless. Oh, y'all freaking out. Y'all freaking out. As if we have not gone down this road time and time and time again. As if it's something brand new to the table, brand new to the world of black people that we have never dealt with, never encountered, never lived through. You feel what I'm saying? And I'll tell you exactly why that is. I tell you exactly why that is. And again, this is not to hurt anybody's feelings, but you were swindled by the whole Obama plot, if you will. You were swindled by that. Let's be real. Let's call a spade and deal with it for what it is, and realize that yes, black folks were swindled like a mofo. Black people looked at this man as he was going to be the savior for black people, come in swinging, doing any and everything that he can for black folks, and that and the third, knowing that he's a puppet, knowing he's just a face. At the end of the day, you take him away, take that face away, take that visual away, what do you still have? You still have a system of imperialism. In America, free Ks, don't get it twisted. From the highest man with the toughest suit, with the highest degree and all that stuff, down to the lowest bum in the street or whatever. And everybody plays their part. And again, once again, black folks thought that Obama was going to be the one to save the day. Wrong. Because at the end of the day, once again, don't get caught up in this. Don't get caught up in this. That is just a cover-up, if you will, of the backing system that he's really representing. He's just a face. Just as much as Trump is just a face. Let's face it. This guy, this little orange guy that's taking the stage right now, he's just a face. Period. Now, let's be real. People are freaking out because they wanted their beloved Hillary to win. Now, I'm going to tell it to you like this. And I said it before, and I got a lot of backlash for it. But it is what it is. Me personally, I'd rather have my opposition loud and bold and proud, right up in my face, let me know what it is, let me know what's on their mind. That way I personally know how to maneuver. You understand? Versus that of the silent killer. Your girl Hillary, she was the silent killer. She'll smile with you, she'll dance with you, she'll do all that good stuff that black people appease to. And then turn right around and jack black folks up in a situation where black folks really can't see nor comprehend. Gotcha. So that's one part of the whole deal, But nonetheless, like I said, people are listening to the rhetoric that's being spewed out on the TVs and CNNs, MSBCs, ABCs, Fox, yada 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 yada. The internet, even everybody's taking what's being said and running scared in fear. Just like what Mr. Garvey said, you're in fear like a little child, waiting, hoping that your parent, in this situation, the government. Because let's be real, because without and you're gonna see what I'm saying about this when I talk about self-reliance. Without the urge for self-reliance, self-establishment, you are that of a child to the government. You are doing exactly whatever the government says to do, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it, because they told you to do it. And you can't say nothing because, once again, you have lost control of your own nerves. You've lost control of your own thoughts. You've lost control of your own speech even. So therefore, your woke is going to reflect just that loss. Fear. Black people are losing their freaking minds right now. This is the end of days. This is the last times. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm going to tell you exactly what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to do the same shit that folks have been doing for time and time memorial. Jack nothing. Nothing. Because just like that second definition states, ambition, that is another thing that a lot of black people lack. That a lot of black people lack ambition. They lack the need, the burn, the urge to want to be something, want to produce something, want to do something that, one, benefits them personally, individually, two, that of their collective people, three, that of the generation that is going to be behind them. That's what it is. Because, now put it this way, we have a very big issue with repeating cycles. Oh, we repeat cycles like it ain't nothing. It's just like the tire on a car. It rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls until somebody hits the brakes and changes the direction. We just roll. We keep the cycle going and going. We keep that fear going and going. Ambition, we suppress that over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, one thing that is out there, bold, proud, loud, and strong, is those cries and complaints, wishes and demands that nobody will ever step up to the plate and do. Why is that? You live in fear. Here's another word that Barbara Garvey. You see this pin that I'm wearing on my chest. I wear this a lot because there's a message to it. And the message is as follows. Quote, if we as a people saw the greatness from which we came, we will be less likely to disrespect ourselves. End quote. Marcus Messiah Garvey. We choose not to tap in to that of self. And I'm not always simply saying go back a million and gazillion years. I will not tell you to do that, because at the end of the day, let's be real, it's not practical in today's times. Talking about what we did millenniums ago and all this other stuff, yeah, it's beautiful because it does come from, we hail from that. But again, until we choose to supersede that by doing something today, shut the hell up about it. But one thing that you can do today in your situation that you are in right now, in January, the end of January 2017, you can look around that of yourself, that of your immediate surroundings, your peers. You feel what I'm saying? The things that you are involved in, the things that you would like to do, like to see, etc., etc., etc. You can then brainstorm within yourself, center in within yourself, organize within yourself. Gut check, as I always like to say, right? And then you could begin to make it happen. You begin to plot the course. You can begin to strategize, etc., etc., etc. You begin to live out the example of that which you wish to see. Instead of waiting and hoping and praying that somebody comes along as this perfect manifestation package of what everybody's been dreaming and hoping on. That Messiah complex. Get that shit out your head, family. That stops us a lot of the times. That halts our ambition. That increases our fear. Waiting for somebody to do something that you can do your goddamn self. Gut check. So now, everybody, once again, is running around this whole society at large or whatever, just nervous. And me personally, I see it personally day to day. When I'm out on the streets, walking the neighborhood, walking the block, going to and fro, wherever I may be, on the bus, on the train, yo, the body language of the people speaks for itself, and it speaks volumes. I'm talking about shoulders are literally dropped. Heads are dropped. Eyes are so low, so filled with despair and desperation and woe is me. You don't even see the that burn, if you will. You don't see that urge. You don't see that I am what I am. I'm going to do what I do regardless of how anybody feels. You don't see that. You see simply, well, we shall overcome, if you will. Like case in point, what you call it, your boy, one of y'all favorites out there, slick back Al Sharpton, he just had another rally recently or whatever. I think it was called the We Shall Not Be Moved. That's also a fearful tactic, if you will. I don't want to get, just listen to what he's saying. We shall not be moved. How long has that speech been in play, family? How long has that speech been in play, family? And look where the moves has been putting us. Look where their moves has put us. Anywhere they want us to go, we go. You know why? Because we live in fear and we lack ambition. As a people, as well as individually. And meanwhile, when we have those two, when you have the lack of ambition and you have the increase of fear, those of us black folks within our right mind, who walk with our right thoughts and speak with our right speech and walk in our right steps or whatever, we come off as foreign. We come off as weird, if you will, to the rest of the black masses. You know why? Because again, that fear has been heightened so high, they can't recognize who they are. They can't recognize that which they come from. Just like Mr. Garvey said, if we can't recognize who we are, we're more likely to disrespect ourselves. But if we recognize who we are, what we can do, because like he said before, what man has done, man can do again. Once you come to that realization and walk in that light, fam, there's nothing anybody can tell you, fam. Which leads me into my segue into self-reliance. What is self-reliance, family? It's key words. It's two words that pretty much define themselves. You really don't need a major definition for this thing. They define themselves. Self, you, us, together, individually as well as collectively. Reliance, to rely on myself. I can do things with my own thoughts. I can say things of my own speech. I can do things and create with my own hands, etc., etc., etc. We can do the same thing. We can multiply off each other. We can sustain each other. Self-reliance. Again, because we continue to repeat cycle after cycle, cipher after cipher of the same negative shit, it builds that wall up higher. Trump era wall, right? It builds that wall of fear up even higher. It builds that wall of we ain't shit, but what they say even higher. It builds that wall of it's over even higher. And it suppresses your ambition more and more and more and more and more. Therefore, you just sit around waiting for things to happen. And those that sit around and wait for things to happen cannot complain about the things that shall take place. It's just that simple. Because you chose not to get up and do something for yourself because you saw that it needs to be done. Stop waiting on the next man to do anything for you. Whether he's a white person or even some black folks. Let's be real, because all skin folk ain't kin folk. Some folks will want to trip you up. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, and we have to face that reality for what it is. So at the end of the day, you must center in on your own thoughts, your own desires, your own urges, and make it happen, family. Because at the end of the day, that's what you call living out the example that you want to see. When you walk and live in that example that you wish to see, trust me, people will get wind of it, they will get sight of it, and they will do one of two things. They will do one of two things. They will want to get down with you for the come up, or they'll simply keep doing the same stuff that they've been doing. Jack, shit, nothing. Those are the only two choices that you have, back family. That's it. That's it. So I don't really need to get too deep into self-reliance like that, because like I said, that pretty much speaks for itself. It is what it is. Just embrace it. Just deal with it. Stop running from it, because you can't run fast enough, family. Trust me, you can't run fast enough. Now let's quickly talk about this Women's March. Sisters, first and foremost, you know I love you. If anybody love you out there, Brother Nguvo loves you. You know why? Because he loves his mother from which he came. Let me say this like this though, man. Stop being swindled. Stop being swindled. Once again, stop being swindled. Stop being forced to take on the fight. And the reason why I say being forced, it's not a force, if you will, as in aggression and this, that, and third. It's a force by way of a presentation. They're presenting you something that seems splendorous. It sounds good. It's that and third. You already know we as a people, we love the feel good speech. So when we hear something that feel good, it don't necessarily have to be right, but or wrong, but you'll go with it because again, it touches your ego, right? Or your nerves, or whatever the case may be. But again, until you face reality to see what it is, you'll always be swindled. And sisters, you have been played yet again on pretty much the same thing that happened way back when. Dealing with the whole feminist movement. I forgot the lady's name, Gloria Steinem or whatever, something like that. CIA plot came in and basically got women to, got sisters to turn on their brothers based on a sister taking on the white woman's fight against her counterpart, the white man. That's their issue that they had. We never had these issues. Now, yes, yeah, we, here and there, whatever, there's little issues, I'm saying, within the family between brothers and sisters, but not on the scale that it was going on with them in their society, in white society. We always managed to work things out. We always managed to fight side by side each other. Because at the end of the day, me, the brother, you, the sister, we had a child, we had a village, a family to take care of together that we created together. So therefore, we put our little shit nonetheless to the side and we did what we had to do with to take care of these babies. Now, by you being played, by you allowing yourself to be played, sisters, you have allowed, yet again, this white woman to come in and set up another division amongst the brothers and the sisters. And trust me when I tell you, at the very end of that whole weekend that the whole rally took place, oh man, sisters came back fired up like a mofo. They came back just ranking on brothers with the most demands, most requests, most this, most that, and this, that, and the third. But before I even go any further, I want to ask you, sisters, this question, and be serious with yourself. Really take a gut check when I ask you this question. All these demands, all these wants and needs, and this, that, and the third, and all the boldness that you say it in, are you even qualified to even ask of these stuff in the first place? I'm going to say that again. Are you even qualified from within yourself as a woman, as a sister, to make the demands that you are making of these brothers? Can you make these demands of yourself and handle them yourself before you take them out on an external level? 9 times out of 10, family, a lot of sisters can't do that. You know why? Because to do that means I have to work on myself. I have to handle myself. I have to take that gut check, that accountability check, and then respond to my ability, thus the term responsibility. A lot of sisters don't like that. I do not understand why. I don't, because I don't have the mind of a woman. So sisters, I need y'all to fill me in on that one, based on society and the way things are moving right now. I need to understand what's up with the realm of accountability. What's up with responsibility? Because when the script is flipped and it's time for that brother to own up to his faults, his wrongs, instead of third, y'all hold him to the fire and dare him not to scream. You hold him to the fire and dare him not to say ouch. You dare him not to say a damn word. If not, forgive my language, but this is not how I speak. I'm relaying the same message that I hear on a constant day-to-day basis. forgive me once again. If a brother says anything in defense of himself or whatever the case may be outside of the realm of what you're thinking already, dealing with this whole accountability and responsibility, he's a coon ass nigga, he's a bitch ass nigga, he's a pussy ass nigga, fuck boy, etc., etc., etc. Once again, forgive my language, but that is the order of the day. You can't tell me I'm lying, family. I dare you to. I dare you to tell me I'm lying. Take it back up to the first part. Sisters, what are you in fear of? What is it that you have to fear of your brothers? What is it that you have to fear of yourself dealing with accountability? What is it that you have to fear of dealing with reconnecting the dots of the black family, which you pretty much lead the charge? Because like I always say, the might of the nation rests within the woman. When the woman is in good standards, so shall be her nation, legacy, and defense. When the woman is in poor standards, so shall be the nation, legacy, and its defense. The defense of the nation is the men. The legacy of the nation is the youth. Do the equation, family. Do the math. You come up with the answer that you already know is there for what it is. So you can't run from it. Sisters, what are your ambitions when it comes to the black family? This is the part that I need y'all to respond to me. So when y'all get a chance, please go in the comment box and please respond to this. What are some of the ambitions that sisters have dealing with the black family, dealing with the black men, dealing with black women, as well as dealing with these children, black children? What are your ambitions? Where do you want to see us going? And not only where do you want to see us going, what are some of the ways or examples you can put forth to show us so we can manifest it and reflect and magnify and continue? Again, first teacher, everything comes from you. That's a major responsibility, family. Own it. Now, you're quick to say, oh, we the woman, we the first, we this, we that, and the third, and then turn right around when it's time to account and show that action and show that responsibility. You show exactly how weak you can be. I'm not saying how weak you are. I'm saying how weak you can be, because I know the strength of a woman. But the question is, do the sisters know the strength of themselves? Gut check. Stop being swindled, Joe. Stop letting these foreign faces and foreign ideas influence that which is you already know is going to hinder that between you and your brothers and your sisters and your children. You know what's going to hinder it, because at the end of the day, again, we have been here time and time again. Why? Because we continue the cycle. We continue the cycle. We continue the cycle because we continue to enjoy complaining. We love to complain. We love to cry. We love to moan. We love to gripe. We love to just be depressed. Why? Why? That is not who we are. That is not within us naturally. These are all learned behaviors. And who do we learn from them? We learn from the best people there are. We learn from the best people there are. The insecure Eurasians. Yes, the insecure Eurasian, family. That's who we learn from. People that had nothing. A people that had no sense of esteem, if you will. They saw everything around them that was rocking, thriving, striving, etc. It made them feel like shit. So therefore, they had to make everybody else feel like shit so they can take and usurp everything from everybody else. Look at us now, family. What are we doing? Gut check. So all I'm saying is this, fam. Stop freaking out. And the best way to stop freaking out is to center in on yourself. And the best way to center in on yourself is to actually have some sort of idea of where you want to see yourself going, where you want to see your people going. Hell, before you even get to your people, where do you want to see your own family going? Your own individual families, family. Where do you want to see y'all going? Which direction do you want to see them headed? Then once you get that, if you can handle that, then we can talk on a collective level where we want to see the people going. Because that's the real deal. That's the real deal. Having individual selves that may be doing good and this, that, and the third, whatever, that's a beautiful thing. But until we do it collectively together as a race, putting race first, it all means nothing. So all your cries for world respect, world recognition, etc., 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 will never mean or amount to anything until you recognize the greatness from within yourself, live up to that light, and pass that light on from generation to generation so they can continue to do the same. Gotcha. Questions, comments, concerns, family, please get at me. Let's talk, comment box. You already know this is your brother in Google, now you see R-A-N-M. You have been walking with us on R-A-N-M RBGC feed, family. And you know we keep it G. Remove the fear, increase the ambition. Remove the fear, increase the self-reliance. Remove the fear, increase the coming together of the black family, which is the black man, the black woman, the black child, which is ultimately the black nation at large, family. So let's get it.